Does anyone really want to relive the trauma of September 11th, 2001 in order to appease a bunch of nutters? Hey, most reasonable people are well aware of what happened on that terrible day. A cabal of barbaric Islamists commandeered aircraft and carried out grotesque acts of mass murder by flying those planes into the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. But when it comes to the conspiracy culture, 9/11 is the new holy grail. You know, the idea of 9/11 being a so-called inside job carried out by George Bush or the Zionists or the Illuminati. For the tinfoil hat crowd, 9/11 is now the big enchilada of conspiracy theories, blowing away the supposedly faked moon landing and JFK's magic bullet assassination, which brings us to self-described truth seeker Paul Salo. He's hoping to raise $1.5 million in order to recreate the events of 9/11, you know, to find out what really happened. Here's Salo in his own words via his YouTube posting.
What we're going to do is we're going to purchase a building that's about to be torn down in the countryside, okay, in a safe place, so we're not going to injure anybody. We're taking a fully loaded airplane and we're going to crash it at 500 miles an hour into that building, directly into the building, using autopilot, okay? And we want to find out is what's going to happen to the building, what's going to happen to the steel, what's going to happen to the aircraft.
Oh, but wait, folks, there's more.
We're gonna put GoPros all over inside the building. We're gonna put them all over inside the airplane, and we're gonna anybody who tries to mess with anything is gonna be on camera. Okay. So what we're trying to do here is we're gonna prove once and for all was 9/11 a hoax or was it real? Okay.
Oh, and one more clip. Okay, that last clip wasn't Paul Salo, but there's a bit of an uncanny resemblance, wouldn't you say? Salo's proposed master plan is preposterous, of course, something that seems to be lifted from Dr. Evil's playbook. And when it comes to analyzing what's wrong with this picture, frankly, I just don't know where to start. Regardless of Salo's political leanings, this is an experiment that's doomed to scientifically fail because it is a test that simply cannot be replicated due to too many X factors. Indeed, it should be noted that Salo set up a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo to raise $1.5 million, but Indiegogo removed it because the campaign violated the terms of use, which state, if the campaign is claiming to do the impossible or it's just plain phony, don't post it. So, of course, the truthers are now howling, aha, more proof of a 9/11 conspiracy. Hey, everything's a big conspiracy to them, folks. But with regards to Salo's proposed bizarre experiment, I recently reached out to Ron Craig, an explosives and fire expert, and someone who has conducted lectures at several universities pertaining to the collapse of the Twin Towers. In a nutshell, the accepted conclusion of Craig, as well as a multitude of credible architects, engineers, and aviation experts, is that when the terrorists flew the aircraft into the World Trade Center, it cut through the building support systems. The incredibly hot fire from the aviation fuel made the structural steel soft, and because of the way in which the Twin Towers were designed, the towers simply could not support themselves. Furthermore, the very idea of crashing a plane into an existing building that isn't constructed in precisely the same fashion as the World Trade Center is a doomed experiment. Craig told me that it would be akin to finding out how a Formula One driver died on the racetrack by replicating the accident using a Volkswagen Beetle in a parking lot, which is to say that unless an exact replica of the World Trade Center was constructed using the exact same materials, i.e. lightweight concrete floors along with varying strengths of steel, then crashing a plane into a pre-existing building that was constructed differently is a complete waste of time. Oh, and we won't even get into the aviation laws that would prohibit such an experiment from occurring in the first place. Oh, but I guess that's part of the conspiracy too, right, truthers? You can almost hear those truthers clamor. You see, the man doesn't want to give us the chance to prove 9/11 was a controlled implosion. Pathetic. By the way, here's another indication regarding how delusional Salo and his ilk are. Namely, even if one actually received permission to carry out such a test, we're talking about a budget that would be closer to $1 billion rather than the $1.5 million proposed. Good luck funding that lost cause. In the meantime, can the conspiracy nuts please go back to promoting their previous favorite conspiracy chestnuts? You know, that the 1969 moon landing was faked. They're wrong on that one too, of course, but at least claiming that the moon landing was an inside job isn't re-victimizing the victims of 9/11. But truth be told, I'm afraid that not only are the so-called truthers delusional, they're also a bunch of callous creeps. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.